Welcome, world, to the Rebelle Rally. We are here. This is the 6th edition, and we are live from the shores of the Colorado River here at Pirate Cove Resort. It's a beautiful morning. I am one of your hosts, Rochelle Croft, and this is Matthew Johnson. We are here to present the live show to you. Sorry, host the live show for you, presented by Lexus. We're not presenting. Coffee's still kicking in.
Yeah, we're not yeah, right. We're here. Look, it's the Rebelle Rally live show presented by Lexus. Speaking of, we have a new commercial that's going to debut later in this show. I got a quick preview of it, and it's really cool. It's about some new product coming out from Lexus, so we'll cover more of that later. As you can see the tent there from the drone view, the ladies are finishing up breakfast, finishing up plotting. We've already had the chat with Emily this morning. Today's route is,
355 kilometers today, after
which is
just coming off of a marathon stage.
Right, another big day, a big transit day.
It's a big day, big transit day for sure.
And what else stuck out to you that you heard from Emily this morning for the competitors?
I overheard her talking about some of the roads they're taking that they can choose to take. Some of those X checkpoints are buried in some mining roads. And she was telling the competitors that those roads can often change from what is on the map. So that may trip some people up. She actually told all the competitors just to be very careful, really watch where they're going, take it slow. There's also some very technical roads in there that can, and especially with the 4x4s that go first, they can really run out those roads to make it difficult for competitors coming in behind them.
Oh, that's an interesting note. So if you know you were struggling a bit or whatever in some other soft stuff yesterday,
yeah,
you could potentially show up there planning to do that checkpoint, look at the road, and decide to just move on.
Yes.
Interesting.
And with the way, we're at, let's see, day 7, day 7, stage 6. Right?
We'll get that right here shortly.
Yeah, we're at stage 6. Sorry, day 7. That always trips me up with the marathon leg. The girls are tired. You're mentally getting really exhausted at this point, as we are here, as we talk through the live show. So you can only imagine what those girls are feeling we were on a very short off-road distance.
Tracy's leash.
Yeah. We just did a short section of one of the course roads yesterday, and we came back exhausted.
So tired. Yeah. I know.
And we weren't trying to find checkpoints.
Right.
So you can only imagine how they're feeling. I hope it looked like last night they had a great, refreshing time. Some of them jumped in the river. They got showers. They got to camp on a beach. There was no wind. So hopefully they're feeling pretty good, and they've got the end in sight.
Yeah, it's these mornings, like last night, it was nice and warm, beside water. Water just is kind of a peaceful kind of experience, usually when you're camping beside water anyway. Hopefully it's been the nice refresh necessary to get some kind of stable space mentally to know that they're driving down to probably, for most teams, for half the teams, let's say, the scariest part of the week, honestly, and the hardest part of the week, and it's tomorrow.
Yeah. A lot of them now are knowing that we are transitioning to Glamis, which is the last piece of this rally. They save the hardest and the best for last. And that's on everybody's minds right now.
I think it's why each year we see more and more teams using some off time to go and practice in the dunes.
I think you're right, yeah.
They're like, I don't want to be that concerned again. I just want to be able to go to the dunes and do my job instead of being so... some teams get pretty amped up about some of the risk involved in driving in the dunes. Beautiful.
Beautiful sunrise.
Thanks, Adam. What a nice shot there.
Gorgeous shot. Coming right into my eyes.
Nice sunrise. Bring us a little bit of heat, just a little bit of chill this morning. So as you'll see here in a moment, there's no strange names here as stage winners here.
Yes, all right. So now we have the official results in from the Stage 5 4x4 winners. Nina Barlow, Terralyn Pederay. I still can't say her last name. I really need to work on that.
Terralyn,
I will ask you how you want me to say your last name. All right, Team 129.
We know her. We've known her lots of years.
I know. I
She
just
knows
know her
us.
as Tara Lynn. So this team is just crushing it. They have a pretty good lead into first, but I can guarantee you the pressure is not off. If anything, the pressure mounts as each day you get closer to that end finish line, because you know that just one or two mistakes can lose you that lead. So I'm betting they're focused on maintaining that consistency, not making a mistake like timing out of a green checkpoint. That would bump them right back with everybody else.
Gotcha.
So you're one mistake away.
Yep. Still, I mean, it's a nice little buffer to have, but we're still looking at 5 different teams that could come out of this rally as the winners of the Rebelle for 2021.
Yes. All right. Let's look at those X-Cross winners. Cora and Melissa win the Ford Bronco Sport. They are leading the X-Cross by a little bit of a lead with, let's see, who's behind them?
Verena and Tana.
Verena.
In one of the Kias.
They're not far behind. The same thing for these leaders of the podium right now. One mistake can lose them that podium.
I had a chat with Verena and Tana last night, and they love their Kia. They say, though, that when you're in the sand, the PHEVs, there's a lot of technology in these new electrified designated vehicles. So let's not forget obviously the Ford Bronco Sport that Melissa and Cora are in proved its mettle last year. It's a Ford performance product. It's going to be great, and it showed that it could be in one last year. But it's a petrol-powered vehicle. But you have a PHEV there in second place that has arguably a little bit less sand tuning.
Okay.
Let's say. So they grinned at each other, and Verena said, "You just aim me up the dunes, and I'll run up the dunes wherever I need to." So we'll have to check out Verena's footwear and see.
I just got to say, those navigators are incredible human beings. They do so much work on this rally.
Yeah.
Not only are they mentally getting you to every single checkpoint, they then on dune day are running ahead, scouting dunes, getting you there safely, and running up dunes so the driver doesn't have to drive up there. So navigators, we love you. Well done.
Same.
Team 102 there on the start line, looking ready to go. They are first off the line. What are these girls in for today on stage 6, Matt?
Right, well, we touched on 350 kilometers, 220 miles. There's several checkpoints up here in Needles before we head south to Glamis, but I have a more detailed description of the day that I'm going to jump right into. This day, stage 6, is best described as a cross-country transit covering long distance as they depart the shores of the Colorado River and head south towards the Imperial Sand Dunes by hugging the border with Arizona. This is big country, and the teams have a variety of terrain and technical sand wash X route just west of Lake Havasu. A fuel stop in Blythe is the final stop before driving to the southern part of the Imperial Dunes to start a surprise en-route enduro. And that's what Jimmy and I were discussing last night a little bit, if you caught that interview. 2 embedded checkpoints and 1 passage control will award a nice pile of points as competitors follow this enduro to base camp tonight in Glamis.
So this is... Are we allowed to talk about this now?
I don't see anyone around us.
Okay, so this is a brand new challenge. I don't know if they've received I think they may receive it once they get to Glamis.
They do.
Which is why I don't want to talk about it right
They get down to the green checkpoint down there, and that's where it's handed to them.
Yeah.
And it's not Greek, let's say. It's a different way of presenting tulips, distances, and the bits that they'll be using. So it's nothing that they don't know how to use. It's just presented in a different way than they've used in the past, a Dakar-style route book.
Yes, and many of the competitors that have competed know that you get to Glamis, you probably go on the top of Oldsmobile Hill for a blue. So a lot of the girls go there and train every year. So they already have probably some sort of an expectation of what to expect when they get there.
Yep.
And that was the whole reason this was introduced, to just throw away that expectation and for the Rebelle to be like, hey, just when you think you got this figured out, we're going to throw in another curveball.
Oh, that's Emily style, right?
Totally. I love it. I love it. I really do. I think it keeps it interesting. It keeps it challenging. And the competitors always like a new challenge. Maybe.
For sure.
Maybe not some of them would agree with me at this point, but
That southerly kind of access to Glamis today is a part I have little experience down there either. There's just no reason really to drive down to that corner. So the part I did drive that was down near there, I liked because you're in those kind of, sometimes we call them the shit dunes. The little tricky, they're like small ones, but they're so easy to get stuck in. They're way softer, or tip over, or get hung up against a bush or tree or something. But I think it's just a really pretty environment, that kind of stuff. I drove after the rally last year. I spent about a half an hour just by myself cruising around in my Toyota. All right, the big overhead. So we're warming up.
First off the start line, I see we have Team 102. They're one of our mother-daughter teams. We have quite a few of them this year.
That's Crystal and Lewis.
Yes, it is.
2013 JKU for you Jeep folks.
And they are a rookie team.
Let's you know what? I forgot to get excited or get our fans excited. It's another morning with Harry. We've got Harry mornings available this morning.
Harry!
And I hear he has an interview set up with Team 112. That's Christie and Kayla. Harry, are you out there? Harry, just jump in when you like.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Yeah, good to see you, Matthew and Rochelle. We are here at the start line for... what stage is this? 6 now?
Stage
Boy,
6.
They're adding up. And we're here with the RazorCrest pilots. As you mentioned, one of our many mother and daughter teams. I was curious about how that dynamic is playing out.
So far, so good. We're getting along, and we've had a few challenges, but we've just stopped and talked it out and figured out our next steps. So we're getting along.
We're the same personality type on the Myers-Briggs, so it's going pretty well.
I never thought of that as one of the conditions for your teammate, but yeah, maybe that's something that we should add.
Yeah.
Well, I think if we were really opposite, we would be struggling a lot more. So we can appreciate sort of how the other person thinks. So it's good to know that ahead of time. Yeah, but we're having fun. So we just came for the experience and to do something together that was an adventure, and so I think we're checking all the boxes.
And I'm really curious about, this is the only Ursa Minor like pop top Jeep that we see here on the event. So as far as I know, it's the only one. Did that work out for you well in the Sandstorm or on the marathon stage?
We didn't put it up during the Sandstorm because I haven't had it out in high wind, so I wasn't really sure what would happen, and we didn't want to fill the whole Jeep with sand. We did use it on the marathon stage, and it's a great tent. It pops up super fast and comes down super fast, and it was really nice that night.
Sometimes the luxuries make all the difference, right? Your energy levels get drained out here, and having a good night's sleep is critical.
And a lot of Starburst. We're eating a lot of Starburst.
I see a sponsorship opportunity in the future.
And flaming hot Cheetos for Kayla. Right? We could be the cheetah.
But yeah, the Ursa Minor, the night that I slept in that on the marathon stage, that was the best night of sleep that I had here. So, for sure.
All right. Well, I know you're off the start line shortly. We'll let you get your game faces on, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Back to you, Rochelle and Matthew.
Thank you, Harry.
That's great seeing the great attitude of a mother and daughter team there on day 6 here after more than 6 days in the car together. I was just giggling to myself thinking about, some of my friends, like they just couldn't imagine spending a week in a car with their mom. We got to dig in there a little deeper and say like, well, what's something your mom does that bugs you a bit? Like, how's that going?
I am so inspired by those mother-daughter teams. I love that they have a relationship that is that strong to want to go through the competition, spend all that time in a car together, and go through the pressure of a competition.
It's great.
It's really cool.
Big adventure. They'll always remember that experience. Hopefully they've, I don't know if they've been here before. Are they a rookie team?
I believe they are. Yes, they are. All right, that first Jeep is officially off the line. Stage 6 has officially begun.
Also a mother-daughter team, by the way. So the first 2 vehicles off the line, mother-daughter teams this morning.
Love it. That sun just coming up. It is gorgeous. Man, it's heating up. I'm really welcoming the sunshine this morning. It's feeling really good.
Same. And it's looking like the weather in Glamis is not going to be 1,000,000 degrees like it has been other years, or like last year. It burned us to a crisp there for a few days. Definitely looking forward to getting down there myself. There's a few things that equal the beauty of being out in the big piles of sand down there and watching the way the wind has shaped them.
Got a few more cars going off the line here this morning. It's nice when they're back to one at a time. So one car leaves every 2 minutes. So it's a good spacing, especially if there's an on-route enduro or an on-time enduro, which I believe they have all three today. This, I believe, will be their last on-time enduro, which I bet a lot of them are very excited about that's the last one. I always remember getting to that stage and being very excited to not have to do any more math calculations in the morning.
Awesome. Let's, I think it looks like Harry's looking back at me. It looks like he's got an interview set up. Is that the San Diego girls I spy, Harry?
Actually, so I'm here with the Resilient Riders, Team 115, another rookie team, and I believe they're out of Northern California, not San Diego, but I will let them specify.
Yes, we are from California near Sacramento. Fonda here's from Folsom. I'm from Shingle Springs. And we know each other.
Yeah, our sons played soccer together, and so we're soccer moms, and we off-roaded the Rubicon together, and so we decided to do this. Yeah.
Well, I hear that Emily has some things in store for you today that might be, I don't know if it's going to be Rubicon level, but maybe you have to use the locking differentials in this Jeep. Have you had to do that yet on this trip?
No, we have not. We've haven't encountered that. We just used 4 low, and kind of it just does it on its own. We're really lucky. The Jeep does really well out here.
That's awesome. And what inspired you to do the Rebelle Rally? You say you're soccer moms, but I see you in this awesome Jeep with helmets on, ready to compete. So definitely not the image of a minivan and orange slices that I would think of.
No, like Fonda said, we're Rubicon girls. We're new to the sport, and Fonda's husband blessed us with this awesome adventure. It was a gift to her, and she asked me to be her buddy, and I couldn't be more proud. And we've had a great time. We've learned, teamwork, doing something hard, and the most important thing is have fun, even when it's hard. That's a challenge, and so we've learned how to do that over the last 5 days or so.
That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, there's so many lessons on this rally you can take home with you too, right, that apply to the rest of life.
Yeah, just take it in stride and have fun. Enjoy your surroundings. Enjoy the people that you're with. And, like Emily says, the windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror.
That's right. The other thing I've learned this morning is that I need to get on Fonda's husband's Christmas list somehow.
You do.
Yeah,
you do.
It was a pretty awesome gift.
Nice
I'm
one,
not sure
Harry.
That, what my next Christmas will be like, but this one is especially special. So thank you, Chris. And hi, Laurel and Macy. We love you.
And I got a happy anniversary, babe. Love you too. And hey, Nate and Lou.
All right. Some shout outs there this morning, and great reasons to celebrate. Thank you so much for the sage advice, and have fun out there today.
Thank you.
Back to you, Matthew and Rochelle.
Man, thank you. We all thank her husband, Chris, for that Christmas present because they get to be here. That is so awesome. All the husbands right now are like, crap.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're scrolling quickly through the website. Hey, by the way, registration for Rebelle Rally 2022 opens this Friday.
October 15th.
Yeah. And if you're digging around furiously in the website to figure out what that costs right now.
You can't do they can do gift cards, right?
Probably.
For probably certain amounts. But hey, it's just an idea. Christmas comes fast these days.
Love seeing the first four-wheel drive class Porsche Cayenne back there, the ones that had the failure on the second day with the suspension and the axle. They're still hanging in strong, showing that the mechanics repair worked.
That's amazing. Big shout out to our mechanics. They are incredible.
We've got to get over there. We've got to get an interview with them or drag them over here. They're often busy, but boy, I'll bet they're really pleased that the way the week started is not the way the week continued, because they were buried the first couple days.
Yes, and they have been, if anybody has sleepless nights on this rally, it is the mechanics team. I've heard Nick say sometimes 3 days goes by without any sleep. They get a cat nap here or there, depending on what breaks on those girls' cars. They work so hard to get these girls back on the start line. So thank you, Nick. Thank you to the whole mechanic team. You guys are awesome. Team 110 there off the line. That was Shannon and Kathy from Georgia. They're also a rookie team. Man, so many rookie teams. I love it.
You know, when we started the week, there were 190 checkpoints in this rally to go and get, and we're past about 150 of those now. We put 20-ish a day or something like that. So we're like really whittling our way down there as we head down to Glamis. Another 220 miles today out of a total of 1,400 miles of the whole event. Remember, that's the short way. That doesn't include going the long way, getting
true.
lost, driving the wrong direction a bunch of times.
I'm just hitting the highway today. That's all I know. I had a lot of fun driving yesterday, but I'm ready for some pavement in that Lexus. There's the final teams there. They drew later start times, so they get a little extra time to plot this morning. Team 116, Michelle and Jen. They're also another rookie team in that Porsche there that Matt was just talking about. They're doing a lot of testing of their new equipment on this rally, just proving again that the Rebelle is such a good proving ground for these vehicles and equipment.
And there's, I've noticed, I follow a few Instagram Porsche accounts and such, and there's quite a aftermarket community for these Cayennes of folks that love to go do some overlanding off-road adventures in them together.
Tell your dog I said hi. That's what her sticker said up there. Oh, I love the personality that all of these teams have. It's fabulous.
Nathan, your pickup truck's getting a star moment there. That's the dually truck that tows our trailer around.
Yes, it is. That right there that the drone is following, that is one of the Benzie teams. They are currently in second place right now. And they are working hard. They are another mother-daughter team. And they are so much fun to watch out there. Last year in Glamis, I believe they won the day. They just crushed it.
They did.
So they're going to be one to watch, especially in Glamis. I am blanking on their team number. I believe it's 177. Thank you.
177. And they are in a 4xe Jeep this year.
Yes.
So they've got part of the electrified class. Sounds like we've got Harry ready again. Harry, who are we talking to?
It's fine.
Good morning. Yeah, hey, we're back here with Fast and Curious on the start line. So Chris and Andrea, both longtime Rebelles, but new teammates this year. And I saw you had the multimeter out on the marathon stage. No mechanical assistance there, but were you able to get things solved yourself?
Yeah, we've had some pretty bad electrical problems in the Jeep, which proved a crimp on yesterday, but we did overcome it. We're able to fix it, get things clamped down pretty good, but electrical out here just gets jostled like crazy, and besides just simple mechanical things, people often forget how much the electrical is such a vital component of keeping your rig running, but we got it right.
And I saw Laura Wanless over there helping you. As I recall, last year she had charging issues in her Jeep that eventually, I believe, took her out of the rally.
Yeah, and that's always in the back of your mind when your friends out here from past years have had problems. It was rough that night. I didn't really want to talk to anybody. I was very fearful that I couldn't solve the problem if it was a ground that was like, behind the block or something. But, you just keep trudging forward and trying to solve the problem. And we did every few minutes or hours. And eventually we solved it with some new terminal clamps on the battery. So.
And, that's the case for electrical issues, navigation issues, sort of anything. That's the theme out here, right?
Well, yeah. and maybe Andrew could speak to this, but the teamwork aspect of this is almost, obviously we feel more important than even in the mechanical. If you're not working as good as a team, have a process, and we're both big on what the process is, how you overcome a challenge, how you problem solve together. I mean, that is so vitally important.
Yeah.
Andrea, a woman of few but wise words. All right. Well, I thank you so much for your time. And, in my experience with mechanical issues, you tell the story, right? And you're like, and it ended up being this. And the story takes 10 seconds to tell. And, no one is there for the hours of troubleshooting and everything that goes along before you find the thing.
4 days of troubleshooting. 4 days of troubleshooting just to get to the 10 seconds of the story.
Well, I'm glad that you found it. That's the important part, because as you know, we got dunes ahead of us now. And I believe our scoring director, Chrissie, is with Rochelle back at in front of the cameras. So we're going to throw to them. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Harry. Yes. So Matt informed me, well, I've already talked to her twice and she's my wife. So why don't you interview Chrissie this time? So here we are with Chrissie Beavis, official scoring director of the Rebelle Rally. You've been here since day one. You are an OG for sure.
That's right. Yeah, I guess I am.
Yeah. I first met you at a training before we went to Morocco. And you were the first one to teach me navigation where it actually started to click in this brain of mine. So I will never forget that. Thank you. We've also had a lot of fun out in the desert together.
That's true.
Had some adventures. So for the teens today, I know in the past, and I think the girls are feeling it right now, the rally gets a little bit harder as the week goes on. You start narrowing down those those black bullseyes. Is that the case for today?
Yeah, we definitely have some narrow black bullseyes today, but today is, I would say, an easier day generally than the last three, really. I mean, day 3 with that windstorm and the weather and everything like that was very hard. And then you've got the self-camp day where they're not quite sure how they've done. They come here, last night, and they kind of get a regroup and really get to see where the standings are laying out. We usually get a lot of inquiries on day 5, which we did. But now the scores have pretty much settled, and I think we're, what you guys are seeing at home is the scores that are going to be there, and now today it's just kind of a long transit day. So they have some checkpoints here in the morning, then they've got a really long en route enduro, and so they're just taking directions. They're just reading directions, kind of like Google would give you, right? Yeah. But in a different format, turn by turn. And they're taking those all the way down to Glamis, and then they are getting a cross-country enduro, and they don't know this yet. Awesome. But have you guys talked about this yet?
A little bit. I wasn't sure what I could say about it. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
So I'll tell you.
I want to hear all about
it.
I'm dying to know.
So at the last green checkpoint, just before the base camp, there is a cross-country enduro, and so it's an en-route enduro, but it is of the precision style where they are giving headings and distances, and they have to follow these headings and distances, but it's also made by Jimmy Lewis, and it has all of these little details like go across a wash and make a slight left and then go around a bush.
Oh my gosh.
It's very, very, very specific, and there's a ton of trails out there, and I think a lot of the teams are really going to like it. I think that they're, especially after having this kind of boring, long slog of an en-route enduro just to get down to Glamis, then they're going to kind of be given this new challenge, and they don't know about it yet. So they're going to be given this road book right there at that green CP. Hopefully they have time. They take some time to really look through it and to figure out how they're going to go. And we have embedded checkpoints. So the goal of this enduro is to get these embedded checkpoints. If they attempt the enduro at all, if they just head out there going kind of the right direction and they've used their road book, then they get an automatic 5 points.
Nice.
Then if they get, there's 2 embedded black diamond checkpoints in there, and that's what they're going for. So that's those little bits of gold out in there in that cross country road book that they're trying to get. And so they're using these turn by turn directions to try to find these black checkpoints, and they don't have latitudes and longitudes for them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they just, the only information they have is by those road books. So it's going to be really interesting to see who goes for it and who tries to get those. Now they do have very, very big wide miss radiuses on them. I believe one of them is 600 meters, so over a half a kilometer, and one is 800 meters. So
wow,
almost a kilometer.
That's very generous
because
of you.
We don't want to get them wide miss penalties. We just want them to try for those black diamonds that are there in that cross country enduro.
I love that. I love the new challenge. I love that you're throwing it at them at the end when they think they're going to check out and just like, yep, I know where base camp is. It's a Wash 23. I'm just going to mosey on down the road.
Nope. I mean, you can. You can. But there's 15 points in there if you try for that enduro. And we're trying to make it a non-penalty situation where we've got huge wide miss radiuses, and hopefully they try it for them.
I love it. I think that's a brilliant idea. I'm excited to see.
That's all. That's
how that
Emily
goes.
and Jimmy. Yeah,
I love it. My mistake with those was I always felt like I had to go fast and be rushed through that. And then I realized I was like, no, I can get out of the car and slow down and take a heading.
Yeah.
And I don't know where that pressure came on myself to be like, I have to do this fast.
Right.
I can't make a mistake, and it has to be fast.
Well, just this year, we realized that that's how people were kind of going by it, because most of the RECs, you don't get out of the car and you don't take your time. Yeah. And so when I rewrote the rule book this year for the RECs to include precision enduros as a specific section where it says very specifically in the rules, you are not supposed to get out and take headings, but we expect that you will get out and take headings, that you will get out and take your time, that there aren't going to be roads to block in that situation. It's just open OHV, or a place like Glamis where you can just drive anywhere. There's lots of trails. You can just stop wherever you are and get out and take a heading.
Awesome. I love that. Cool. Well, thank you so much for being here. I think we've got Emily coming up next to go over a little bit of the maps. Is there anything else that the audience should know about today's route, or even the next 2 days, because it's going to be a doozy of the last couple days?
It is. It really is. Yeah, today's just that long enduro that they're going to be following them on, and hopefully, everyone at home is just going to watch their teams, and hopefully they stay on that course. It'll be very obvious when they go off that course, but yeah, today isn't that exciting, but tomorrow sure will be.
Yes, it will. It is every year.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Chrissie, for being here.
Sure thing.
And thank you for all you do here.
Sure.
Okay, that was Chrissie Beavis, our scoring director of the Rebelle Rally. We sure thank her and the team for all of the hard work they do, and I am very excited to see the results of this enduro that the girls are going to be getting. I think we're going to hear some really good stories come out of that from the finish line as girls pull in tonight.
Tracy, you're clearing this cooler off,
Life is more interesting when it isn't mapped out. When you have the freedom to drop everything and try anything. To follow your heart, not a script, and go where the exceptional is the rule. This is the power of the reimagined Lexus LX. Designed for adventure, it is entirely new, from the ground up. Fitted with a more powerful engine, yet retaining its legendary body-on-frame platform design. Designed for precision, it provides a pure, more seamless communication between you and the road, or whatever road you encounter. Designed for the senses, the LX features a transformed cabin that brings unparalleled elegance to every journey. Enjoy reimagined VIP seating and intuitive technology wherever you are. To break new ground, to plant new flags, to live the life uncharted. Because there are those who follow maps and those who draw them. The all-new Lexus LX. Luxury that knows no limits.
Get lost without getting lost. When your adventure takes you off the beaten path, Iridium is there. Whether you're camping in the woods, hiking a mountain, or sailing the ocean, Iridium satellite communicators keep you connected regardless of weather conditions, terrain, or location. Built to be portable, rugged, and easy to use, Iridium and Iridium connected devices deliver peace of mind for you and your loved ones through real-time two-way voice calling, text messaging, photo sharing, social media, GPS, weather monitoring, and SOS, even in the most remote locations. Choose from a selection of products ranging from satellite phones to Bluetooth-enabled hotspots made by the brands you trust to call home, share the moment, or get help when needed. So, get out, take a hike, seize the day, but stay connected. Iridium, your world, our network.
Hi, I'm Justin from Wagan Tech, a company that has been in the Bay Area of California for over 37 years. As an automotive lifestyle company, we provide products that give you power, comfort, and convenience for the road ahead. Power means having a hot cup of coffee no matter where you are. Comfort is enjoying your trip. Convenience is having the tools you need when you need it. With Wagan Tech, you'll always be road ready.
Welcome back from that great Lexus commercial, the LX600. I can't wait to check one of those out. It's been fun being presented by Lexus here in the live program and having a really nice GX personally to cruise around in. I'm sitting here now with Emily Miller. Obviously her name's very familiar as we're talking about the course design as it changes. We've had lots of excited rebels that have been OG and that have been around a long time, excited rebels about how you've changed the course this year. Tell us about how you ended up here and how the route chosen this year brings us here by the Colorado River.
Yeah, we really just wanted to change it up this year. We have traditionally this day gone from Johnson Valley to Glamis through Joshua Tree. And it's wonderful. It's a great place, but we want to keep it exciting. We also kind of wanted to surprise some of those returning teams. And then it also helps level the playing field. They don't, they know what's ahead of them. They can sit and relax through Joshua Tree for 3 hours. And we want to kind of surprise them. And I think that's one thing that's been really exciting this year is we've had so many new areas. And I think that the returning Rebels really appreciate that.
And I've heard in the past the drivers were asking for more of a challenge, and this year they got here and they got it.
They got it. They got it.
Emily says with a smile, like, well, they wanted it. I gave it to them.
Yeah.
So this morning, I think I heard you say in the meeting, there's some sections for the four-wheel drive class where they're going to be in four-wheel drive low range rock crawling up into some areas to get their checkpoints. Are those black diamonds or blues?
There is a route. They first thing they do this morning is they go to a green checkpoint that is at the historic Route 66 marker that's close by. And then they have black diamond routes for checkpoint 2 and 3, and it's really rough terrain. It's not technical, but it's rough. It beats on your car a bit.
I think we brought a map. Why don't we have a look at the map, and you can point at that.
Let's do it.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
How we looking, Colin? Let me just double check before we've... Yeah? Okay, good. All right, let's look at this map.
Here we are at Base Camp 3, right on the river. They're going to head up to this green checkpoint. They're going to hop on pavement. If they're the crossover class, or if they're the X-Cross class, they're going to go this way. If they're 4x4 class, they're going to head this direction. There are 2 black diamond checkpoints.
Okay.
The X-Cross class also has this option, but it's an X option.
Okay.
Because they understand that this is going to be challenging for their cars.
But if you were an X-Cross driver and you're not in the lead and you wanted to be in the lead, you'd need to figure it out and go on this more challenging route today.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, slow is pro. Drive it carefully. Tire placement will matter. Don't beat up your car. But there are some good points on the table for them to gain. So then they get up to this point. They're going to take this road. Right in this area is some really steep. It's a straight road, but really steep up, really steep down, loose. There's excellent pucker factor in this. And then they head out this road. There's a mine up in this area, so they've got to get around a closed road. There's a blue checkpoint in this area. And then when they get over here, some people will turn and head south to the next green CP. But right up in here is an out and back. And there is this unbelievable cholla cactus forest.
Oh, cool.
And so we put it right up there because it is worth driving to. Then they head down the pole line road. And then they have an option. There is an X option up in here. Beautiful, rough, fun 2-track. This one is the next green CP. Some people might even choose this morning to go from this green CP, hey, I'm having a rough time, my car's, I need to save it for Glamis. Sure. They might skip these checkpoints and come to this point. From here, this is the crux of the map and checkpoint challenges today.
Okay.
They're going to head down here. This is Lake Havasu right here. Mm-hmm. This is a really tricky, interesting area. There are a lot of roads, really cool looking. And then the X option for A, B, and C groups, so that means 4x4s and X-Cross, is this wash. And they're going to go to this wash and then turn down. The regular route is to go this way. This is tricky. This is going to be hard to find some of those checkpoints. The wash is pretty wide. It's a half a kilometer wide wash. They're going to have to stay on heading. They're going to be down in the bushes. It's going to be fun driving. They're going to want to tend to drive faster. If they do, they might miss those checkpoints.
Got it. So extra challenge there for the navigator in this situation, kind of easy and relaxing for the driver and scenic.
I wouldn't necessarily say easy. I'd say fun. And that classic fun sand wash driving.
Yeah, did some of that yesterday.
Yeah. So then they get to this point. They come down here. This road extends down, but they have to make a key turn. And this area through here is stunning. Beautiful terrain features, great things to navigate from. And they've got a series of blue and black diamond checkpoints all the way to the exit of this green CP.
Is that green CP near a paved road right there, or
Yes.
is it tucked away near that hill?
Yeah, this pink line here, we denote this on the master map so they can see clearly see the paved roads. This is challenging because this road looks like this road, and they're not the same. This is not a paved road, that's a paved road. So we go ahead and mark it.
And I hear you reminding competitors in the mornings that paved roads are a hazard because there's public people on there zooming down them, not aware of what we are doing. So you remind them, look both ways, be careful, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's really hard when you're navigating with a compass and a map. You're moving slower. So sometimes, you've got to be reminded to get your head back in the game to just drive, regularly.
Yeah, real world out there.
So once they hit here, they're now on the Enduro roadbook. It is going to take them all the way from this green checkpoint down through Blythe. They'll have a fuel stop, and then they'll go to the next green CP at the bottom of Glamis. And then at that point, they're going to start the cross-country roadbook that they don't even know they have yet.
Cool.
They'll reach the green CP, the roadbook gets handed off, their minds are probably
melting,
going to melt for sure.
How long do they have? So I know they're going to get this book and then have to begin. How long are they going to have to sit there and just take it in, like look at it, discuss it together, and get clear about their method of attack?
It's up to them.
Okay. So if they're ahead in their game and they've got a lot of time in the day, they could sit there a half an hour and study this before starting the on route.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. But this is going to be a long day. It's approximately 355 kilometers, and they've got to stop for fuel. So they do have to manage their time today. This is going to shake it up because normally we go into Glamis and we hit a green checkpoint at the top of Glamis so everybody can see that big Glamis view, get really nervous about those dunes.
Yes.
This year, and then they assume that they're going to go do Oldsmobile Hill.
Yeah.
That's kind of been our classic.
Yeah.
So I think the return competitors are going to be a little surprised.
Sure. That's Emily, always with a surprise up her sleeve. Thank you for spending time with us this morning. We are going to shoot over and see a review of some of the 2020 event here in a quick little commercial.
Awesome.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
When I got into my tent last night, I felt like a shift. I got my journal out and I sort of opened it and started writing, and I just felt this immediate shift of like looking forward instead of looking back. It's been a lot of work to get here.
If you think about what we're doing out here, it's an analogy for life, right? So how are you going to get to where you're trying to go if you don't know how to get there? So having the skills to chart a course, pick a path, have a set of navigational tools that you can trust, having both the independence and the interdependence.
And for me, it's all about the work, right? I mean, we've put in so much hard work, and where you really have an opportunity to see how you develop.
Every day, our goal is to win the day, and it's to do the best we possibly can do that day, but certainly we're in it to win it.
Each year it grows and it's tougher. If you look at the scores, I think the first year the winning score was like 80%. This year, I mean, the first day we got 96% of the points and we were like in 10th place or something.
The Rebelle is all about going out there, giving it everything, and adapting on the fly. You're going to make mistakes. Events happen, you adapt, you adjust, and if it doesn't work out, you realize quickly and try not to make the same mistakes twice.
I feel like it's planned in a way to challenge you at just the right level at just the right time.
You really do learn a lot about yourself, your knee-jerk reactions, and how you really handle pressure. And that to me is one of the most extraordinary takeaways.
It's about getting women to do something a little bit outside your comfort zone, showing you how much you can push yourself, what you can do. And at the end of the day, even though we're all competing against each other, we kind of all want each other to do well.
It's challenging, but it's like exercising muscles that I don't usually use, and I feel like that's a very healthy thing.
there are only solutions, and that's what you have to believe, because you get yourself in predicaments and you're just thinking, how am I going to get out of here? Well, there's got to be a solution, and you just start working till you find it, and you take that into everyday life too.
Success for us is just being here.
Understand the Rebelle that hasn't been to it, and that's okay.
I love that video, just sitting there and just checking it out. You get all the feels there. There's going to be lots of feels here this afternoon and into tomorrow. Let's grab Harry if we can here.
Unfortunately, but we'll talk to him.
Harry, are you out there?
Thanks, Matthew. Yeah, we're here with the first Navajo team ever to compete in the Rebelle Rally, which is pretty exciting. They're getting lined up and ready to go, so they're getting their game faces on. But this came together fairly late in the game, and they've been doing admirable out here in their Jeep 4xe electrified designation vehicle, one of 3 in the rally, along with the Benzies and our leaders, Terilyn and Nina. And as you can see, this is the things that teams go through at the start line. They're getting their game face on. They're getting all ready to go. They've got their Enduro and taking notes. So we don't want to interrupt them too much, but certainly want to give a shout out to them and talk about what it takes to put a team together and to come do this event in just a matter of weeks. So they really have impressed me with their abilities and how well they're doing in the rally. So you have 45 seconds before you leave the line. We won't want to take up too much of your time, but can you tell us a little bit about how this all came together for you to come compete in the Rebelle Rally?
Yeah, I became aware of the Rebelle Rally through Shawnee and her family. Shawnee's parents are affiliated with Renewable Innovations. Yeah. And he's the owner of Big Navajo Sea Energy, who's one of our main sponsors. And we just got pulled into this about 4 weeks ago, and with a bunch of cramming for the last 3 weeks.
And more to come now, so have fun out there. Good luck. Behind them, we'll go further back in the line here and let these teams get their game face on and get ready. So trying to find another interview. We're on the fly here, which, if you know me, you know that under pressure, I would not do well in the Rebelle Rally because I'm not nearly as good under pressure as these women are. But we'll find some more to talk to, and they can tell us what it takes for them to prepare. One 6-time Rebelle. There's only a few of those, 6 total that have done this event every 6 years, and one of them is Kendra Miller here from the Sassquatch Rebelles, who is teamed up for the last, I believe, 3 years you've been with Eliza, or is it 4? 3. Yeah. So, like Matthew, a professional driver, and I'm always trying to get Eliza to put her car on 2 wheels when she's out there in order to take photos. But
where we are, you might catch that. If y'all are out where we are, you might actually catch that.
Oh, I guess I got to try harder. And the thing I recall when I first met Eliza, she was like, oh yeah, in a Jeep it's pretty easy, you know, something soft like a Raptor, it's more difficult. And I just kind of nodded like I knew, like, oh yeah, no big deal.
No, that's probably pretty true. She, I had to give her a little less rally at one point, and we may or may not have done some donuts on a lake bed.
I don't. Scoring is still provisional. I don't know, Kendra, if that's a confession you want to make out here.
She tells a lot of tall tales.
I don't know what she's talking about.
That's right. Deny everything, right?
Like I said, may or may not. I don't know. What's a donut?
Very good. Well, we'll let you move up in line. And we'll go back to Matthew and Rochelle for now and let you get ready for the 5th stage of the rally. We're coming into, I got that wrong, stage 6. It's all a blur for the staff and teams, but we're coming into Glamis and the ultimate end and finale. Back to you, Rochelle and Matthew.
Thank you, Harry. I love Kendra and Eliza. They're so much fun to be out on the course with, and they are also running a bone stock designation this year in that Jeep.
Cool. Even bone stock Jeeps can do donuts then out in lake beds?
May or may not do donuts.
That sounds like fun competitors to be with that might try to fill up the space. This was my high school teacher told me this, is that anytime I was in a large space, I just needed to have enough energy welled up inside me to just fill up all of that space. And I think that was a nice way of telling me I was pretty hard to be around when I was in high school. But that's kind of the feeling I get when you get to these wide open lake beds and these just huge views. It gives you some energy to do some donuts or whatever. Like you just want to, experience being so free and in such an open space.
Oh, it's an incredible feeling, and I think the Rebelle Rally is the only place I've ever gotten to drive across dry lake beds, and it's a pretty great thing to do.
Yeah.
Safely. Man, those teams are trickling out one by one. Another fun fact about Eliza that not a lot of people know, she is a stunt coordinator.
Yeah. She's working in the film industry. A stunt coordinator essentially is the person responsible for making sure the stunts are planned, everybody understands what they're doing, that it's going to be done as safe as possible, that the timing is right. Also responsible for just hiring the right people for the job in the first place. So stunt coordinators have a lot of responsibility for the safety and not only how, making stuff look cool. Sounds like we can go and check out Harry again. He's got someone else here in the start line planned to chat with. Harry, go for it.
Thanks, Matthew. Yeah, we're here with Team 149, and we're just going to bump up in line for them and then talk a little bit about their day yesterday. They were double timing it as both competitors and recovery crew yesterday for some of the other teams out there. So can you tell us a little bit about what happened on the last stage?
Sure. There was team one. We arrived at checkpoint 5X, which was a really difficult one to maneuver or get to. And as we were headed to it, we were heading up kind of the side of this mountain. And we came across team 117, and they had a big rig, the big heavy rig, that had slipped down the side of the loose sand. So they were in a precarious situation where they could have almost rolled. Both driver and navigator were out of the vehicle at that time, and they had already called for assistance, recovery assistance. So since we have a winch sponsored by Warren Industries, we decided we would use it as an anchor. So we went ahead and used the winch as an anchor point on the lower rock, what is that thing called?
A rock slider.
So the rock slider. So we anchored ourselves to the rock slider while she used her winch on the recovery vehicle. So they were able to tow her forward as we kept her back end from going down the hill. So we did that for about 20 minutes, and as we were doing that, we realized that the blue checkpoint was up on the hill, and so instead of driving around to it, because you couldn't drive to this 5X checkpoint, I trucked it up the hill and was able to ping the 5X checkpoint. So, and they recovered the vehicle.
Wow, so karma plays a part out here in the Rebelle Rally. And do you feel like that time, time management we know is so important? You've been helping a lot of teams, so is the karma more important than the time sometimes?
Definitely, yeah. We're here to help other people. We have a lot of off-road experience. We're still practicing the navigation and time management, but our experience is off-roading, recovery, so we're here to help as many people as possible.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, that's an important part of this too, not just the competition aspect, but the community as well.
Right. You're never supposed to wheel alone, and that's the reason why, because you want to be able to help each other if you get into a situation that you can't get out of yourself. So we totally support wheeling with a partner, and that's about it. So we want to help as many teams.
Particularly important as we come into Glamis and the dunes and the most technical driving and situations that we'll be in on the rally. So hopefully, I'm sure you've taught some teams out here some new skills, and maybe they'll have the opportunity to repay the favor.
Yeah, Glamis is our neck of the woods, so I think we'll be fine out there, and we'll probably be helping other teams. Even if it's just with Max Tracks, even if it's with the winch, we'll probably be out there getting teams unstuck. Yep.
That's great. Yeah, home field advantage never hurts either. So we're on our way there today.
Secret Glamis weapon.
All right. Well, we'll see you out there, and good luck today.
Thank you very much.
Back to you, Matthew and Rochelle.
Welcome back. Thanks a lot, Harry. Nicole and Audrey there, involved in lots of different discussions this week as they've given a few teams a hand. Let's check out a quick word from a sponsor, and we'll get moving along and grab another interview there in line.
The Rebelle Rally is the longest competitive off-road navigation rally in the U.S. It is remote, unique, and extremely challenging. When we launched the Rebelle, we needed a robust, multi-function tracking system to serve as the backbone for course and safety operations. Unique to the Rebelle, it also has to interface directly with our real-time scoring system. The tracker must be reliable, durable, and never fail, combined with superior customer support. We chose Iridium-based YB tracking. It's the best product and the most experienced people. YB tracking has been a critical component of our safety and success since day one.
Pavement is optional. Total Chaos equipment is built for travel. Introducing our newest project vehicle, Seabiscuit, a Lexus GX 460. It combines luxury interior with performance off-road components. It's outfitted with our newest suspension package, designed specifically for KDSS models. Explore more.
Everyone to the start line of stage 6 of the Rebelle Rally. Welcome to the live show presented by Lexus. My name is Rochelle Croft, here with Matthew Johnson, and we are just here enjoying the sunshine and watching these cars pop off the line every 2 minutes. I believe Harry, who is out on site with all these cars, has another team we would love to chat with. Team 119, the Williams sisters. Are you there, Harry?
I am, yeah. Team 119, Get Lost, which I love. We talked to a mother and daughter team earlier. These are sisters, and I imagine that there are pros and cons to doing this with a family member, but it certainly seems to be working out for these women. You're currently in the running for Top Rookies, Rookie of the Year. Was that your goal coming out here?
Oh, no, I think our goal was to figure out how to do this, have fun, see some beautiful spots. I think try to not keep making the same mistakes was my goal. So we've made interesting new mistakes every day, which I think is mixing it up, keeping it fun.
Yeah, that keeps it fresh for sure. And I think those are great goals that anyone should have coming in here. And, your expectations are to learn and grow and have fun, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And meeting the other people. Yesterday we got stuck for a second. We were digging ourselves out, doing fine, but another team stopped by, made sure we're doing good. And it's nice to know that there's camaraderie. There's competition, but it's not cutthroat.
Definitely. And have you done other competitions where in the past that wasn't you're making a face that suggests that?
No, this is my first driving competition, first off-road competition, first off-road trip. So this is all very new.
But you're crushing it out there. And now we know Liz has been here before. So while a rookie, you were here in another capacity and loved the Rebelle so much that you had to come back and bring your sister and compete.
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of fell in love with it a couple years ago when I kind of helped to support Emmy and Rebecca. And so decided this is the year that we're going to come out and try it ourselves.
Well, you certainly seem to be doing well. We'll let you queue up here up at the start line. You're next up. And when I first saw this truck, it was bone stock. And now it's been upgraded. How is the truck working out for you?
The truck is running really well. A lot of help from Beaverton Toyota and then the Ironman 4x4 suspension, which has actually made a huge difference on how it's riding. And the Nexen tires, for sure.
No tire issues? We've seen some teams had to change tires out there thus far.
No, actually, these are running spectacularly. We've really been very impressed with how they've held up in the rocks.
Excellent. Well, we'll let you get your game face on and get ready for Glamis, and we'll see you out there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Harry. Man, those rookie teams this year are just crushing it. They came here to play.
Yeah, you know, the Williams sisters, they do get to qualify for rookie team, but like a lot of the different rookie teams and more experienced teams, this is not the only time they see dirt or off-road or deal with maps, where Allison Williams there, the navigator in that truck with Elizabeth, is part of a search and rescue operation there and does some other let's say map and orienteering kind of work. So that definitely lends itself to be able to more naturally be comfortable in this environment. I got to imagine that if you kind of understand, you know, how off-road works, how vehicles off-road work, how there's just a map, it's just a solution. It's just, you know, I love this part. We got to bring it up from yesterday. Team Spicy Panda.
Yes.
139. I don't know if it was Spicy that told us. She felt like the Rebelle Rally was one big escape room.
That, I've never heard someone describe it like that. And I was like, yes.
Wow.
That was a
Right?
great analogy for this and description of this rally.
Yeah, because there's hints, there's a map, there is a solution. It's not obvious at first. And, you know, to win the escape room, you make it to base camp that night, I guess.
Yeah, on time.
On time.
That was the whole thing. She's like, I thought it was like a scavenger hunt, but then I realized all of these checkpoints close and you have to get there at a certain time, which made it feel more like an escape room.
Yeah, it's I would imagine framing, you know, in your mind about what this whole event is, how your interaction with other teams works, and all that kind of builds, can be empowering or disempowering depending on how you start to view it. It was great hearing the Williams sisters say, you know, they got stuck, they were digging themselves out, another team swung by just to check in. What they do essentially just give each other a thumbs up. No big deal, right? But if you slow down beside another car and you're looking out of your window at them, you're waiting for them to throw you a thumbs up. If they don't, you're going to keep creeping and maybe stop and watch them for a minute. And then you have to assess for yourself if you think everything's okay. And, you know, or you don't care and you drive on. But, you know, the kind of support we want to be for each other, you're not really going to impact another team's score that really. You're not going to impact another team's score that much. They are doing their job. You're doing your job. You're out there competing against Emily's and Chrissie's and Jimmy's course. But you know, and your own challenges for your driving and your navigation, but you're not really going to impact another team's score.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And even those girls, they make sure that when I'm pulled off on the side of the road, they give me the thumbs up to make sure that I'm doing okay. So they're even ready to come and help me out, which I really appreciate.
Just looking back in line here, and what I see is maybe a great opportunity that we could talk to the other rookie team that it's a few more cars back. We might fit in another interview, but we're going to try to grab that other rookie team that's going to be competing or has been competing here with the Williams sisters, and that's 152, the Toyota Wayfinders. We'll get back there in a couple minutes.
Yeah, I see that 143 is on the start line right now. They are another rookie team in that red Jeep.
Oh, this is the Skoden team.
Yes.
And the broken front axle that was a Mad Max repair our mechanics did the other day. No other mechanic in the land would have looked at that and said, oh, we can fix that. It was the axle tube was broken away, and not like pulled out of the diff housing, but like twisted and broken away from the diff housing. The fact that they got that welded back up and got this Jeep out still here is 3 days it's been back on the road and competing since that.
Yeah, and that, on the course through the Rebelle and a lot of these dirt roads, especially through Nevada, you have all these beautiful straight stretches of road, and then you have these washouts or G-outs in the middle of them, and those really sneak up on you when you're not paying attention. So I think quite a few teams got surprised by a couple of those. Emmy and Rebecca included in the Rivian. They had a little issue with their suspension, and then these girls, 143, I believe, got surprised with one of those as well.
And then in midday, when the sun is high, it's hard to read that texture and be able to see that. Since it's Thursday, we're going to do a Throwback Thursday and take a look at 2016.
This is kind of an intimidating thing for a lot of women, and so to step out of your comfort zone and to see what you're really made of, whether you get first place or whether you're pushing your Jeep through the finish line.
Welcome back, everyone, to the start line of Stage 6. We are live here from Pirate Cove with the live show presented by Lexus. And what you saw there was a highlight reel from the very first 2016 Rebelle Rally. I was just watching that and brought up all the feels. I had the privilege to be there that very first year. And man, what an experience that was.
It was all new. We didn't know how it was going to go. We'd been talking about it with Emily, and Emily had been building it up for a couple of years, and it was like, and then suddenly there we all were in the desert, and there was a rally, and it was happening.
Yeah, and that was, oh man, so much happened that year. We had a desert tortoise shenanigan happen that year. I was first off the start line that morning, so we were on one side of the desert tortoise, and all the rest of the teams were on the other side. So it was like a line divided in the road with a tortoise in the middle. that we had passed before he came out on the road.
And you couldn't touch them.
Oh, we couldn't touch him at that point. No.
If you touch, what to know about it? Why they're so important not to touch is they pee when you touch them, and that liquid you lost could cause them to dehydrate and die.
Yes.
And they're an endangered species. Harry's ready?
Yes, Harry is ready. We'll stop talking about tortoises and throw it over to Harry with Team 152, a top-performing rookie team.
Thanks, I appreciate it. I'm not sure how to segue from the desert tortoise. I'll work on it. Maybe there's a tortoise and hare reference in here. This is a long rally. We're here with, and I'm going to flub it again because I want to call you Shikoya, but that's the vehicle here. So your team is Toyota Wayfinders. As you mentioned, one of the other top rookies, and we have a lot of women in STEM competing this year, and I find that they tend to do really well in this event. I think you have like the background and all the tools you need to be successful. So how have you been able to apply that to the rally, like your education and background?
So within the STEM is a lot of the math, and that's what these are. It's a lot of calculations, a lot of reading the terrain and plotting your points accurately.
And how has the vehicle worked out for you? Well, I mean, it tends to be a little bigger than I think some of the other competitors have, but we've seen you going everywhere. It doesn't seem to have been a limitation at all. I know there's a lot of Toyotas out here, but not necessarily other Sequoias.
Yep. So this vehicle is very big and heavy, but it's actually very capable. We've been able to take on anything we've wanted to, and we had it in the dunes a few weeks ago, and it even did well there. So we're excited to see it go to Glamis tomorrow.
And the real question, is it big enough to sleep in the back during a sandstorm?
Well, the front seats lay flat almost, so the front seat's great, but the back would totally be big enough. Yep.
So that's definitely an advantage. Hopefully not in future rallies necessarily. We won't have to use that advantage again. But, I know these have a great power to weight ratio, and it's definitely been pretty impressive out there. I didn't ask you a question, so I'm not really being very helpful, am I? But I'm just really impressed by how you're doing. And do you have any tips for us going into Glamis, or you said you had prepared in the dunes?
Well, we just went out there for the first time a few weeks ago just to see what it was like to have something so big and heavy in the dunes. So as far as tips, I'm not sure I have any for anyone, but we are excited to get out there and see what we can do.
Now, how closely have you been following the standings? Some teams say, we don't even look till the end. Some teams are very competitive. They want to, finish in the top 10, finish on the podium, or be rookies of the year. You're definitely in the running for the rookies of the year. I think you're in the top 10 overall, which is super impressive. Is that your goal, or what are you hoping to do to win rookie of the year coming into this?
We liked the sound of Rookie of the Year, that'd be really cool. But our goal was really to cross the finish line, to take care of our vehicle, and to have a good rally overall. And we've definitely done that. The being in the top 10 is great and really exciting, but I don't know that we expected that or had planned for that.
Yeah, that's impressive. I mean, there's a lot of teams that have been out here multiple years, and just learning the format and the intricacies to come in and not to have to learn those things in addition to the competition is really impressive. So you've placed yourself amongst the top teams. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll let you get back out there, and a couple more days to go, but keep up the good work. What you're doing is working.
We definitely are paying attention to that rookie battle because that's our job to sit here and look at the scores and stuff. But it is great. Both of those teams, they're here, they're doing the best, having a nice time with their partners there. The Sequoia looks really cool. I do wonder, if the weight is going to be a bit of a hindrance in the dunes, but if you're headed the right direction, you're going to get most of the way there.
I think so, and from what I can tell, they've kept it really light. They haven't added a lot of extra weight to the top or the back. They seem to really understand the weight ratios there, their weakness of the vehicle.
Almost like they're engineers for a car company.
Right? Yeah.
That's my strategy as well. I mean, I do have the lightest weight roof rack I could find on my 4Runner, but I try to keep the weight off of it as much as I can. I hate that head tossy, bobbly feeling when I'm trying to make time through some bumpy stuff.
Yes. Okay,
let's check out for those of you that are still not clear about our format, and we're going to go over it again here on a quick video.
The Rebelle Rally has its own format. It's completely different from any other type of rally out there or any type of race. It is 100% its own thing. And we know because we created it. Emily came to me years and years ago and said, I want to do this event. And we started discussing what our priorities were for the event and what we wanted women to get out of this event.
The Rebelle Rally is not a race for speed. It is about precision driving and precision navigating. We kind of think of it as a triathlon of rally and a triathlon of navigation. So it consists of two types of primary challenges, compass and map, and enduro challenges. Enduro challenges are where you use a traditional rally road book, and they can either be on time or on route. And on time means that they have to do a formula of time, speed, and distance to arrive on time at each instruction on the road book. An on-route enduro means that they just have to stay on that route. Map and compass challenges consist of green, blue, and black diamond checkpoints, a lot like a ski run. The greens are the easiest, and they are marked with a prominent flag, course official. A blue is harder, marked with a small blue flag or pole, and then a black diamond checkpoint is not marked at all. Every morning, competitors receive a checkpoint guide, and then they receive an enduro road book if they have an enduro that day. And the checkpoint guide gives them everything they need. So the map numbers they'll use, magnetic declination of the day, the number of checkpoint, the rating, the number of points, the bullseye, and the radius for the black diamond checkpoints, and any really important notes that they need. The navigators really have a tough challenge. They have to physically plot a latitude and longitude or a heading and distance on the map. And they do that with a scale and a plotter. Each team has 190 possible checkpoints that they can score in the rally. But that doesn't mean there are only 190 checkpoints that are set. There are a lot more.
That's great. You could see Chrissie and Emily's interview there about the course, and you could tell they've got that like sly smile, like we've been up to something, and the teams are going to figure it out.
Here is the format. Good luck. We wish you all the best.
Let's see what Harry's got going on over there. Harry, do you have Harry morning things ready for us?
You know it, Matthew. So you know someone who's very familiar with the format is Rachel Ridenauer. Done this event every year, typically with a different teammate, but for the past 2 years, she's been teamed up with Chrissie. Last year, the two of you were in the X-Cross class. This year, you're in the 4x4 class. How has that played out? Has it been a big difference?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Last year, we had the privilege of being one of the first two electric vehicles to compete, and electric vehicles, just maintaining your charge, your regen, your range is an art form all in itself. So that was a lot of fun. We had to really put a heavy emphasis on strategy. This capable vehicle right here, checkpoints are the strategy rather than being able to access certain things.
I don't think anyone is surprised to hear that the two of you are trailblazers here, just as you've been in your careers as well. And do you have any words of wisdom for us this morning?
Oh, man. There's a lot going on in the world right now. So, do the Rebelle. Whatever your Rebelle is, don't wait. This moment right here, this is life. Change is inevitable. Progress is not.
Rachel, you never disappoint. Thank you so much. I put you on the spot and you came through, which I've come to expect. And now, Christy, you bought this Jeep after last year's event. Is that correct?
Yes, it did. I retired from the Army in January, and so Misatropia here is a retirement gift from my husband and myself for all the years.
Sounds like you're making good on that advice then as well.
Absolutely.
We'll let you pull up to the start line and get your day started, but thank you so much for the wise words, and have fun out there. Back to you, Rochelle and Matthew.
I love hearing from Rachel. She always has some nuggets.
She does. She's full of those like one-line zingers.
Yeah.
You're just like, whoa.
Yeah.
I need like a week to sit on that one. It's like counseling in 1 minute with Rachel.
Sure. No, it's great though, but it gives a perspective that a lot of rebels have in the back of their mind, and Rachel's, she's got a lot of experience talking to groups, leading groups, and so it's natural for her to kind of, when she sees a learning moment, it's natural for her to just chime in when other rebels are there in a community listening and such.
Yeah.
So it's cool. She's a team, a competitor, but a leader in the way that she is here at the Rebelle.
She's very much a leader in this space. And for those of you who don't know, she has a nonprofit called Record the Journey. And she is responsible for bringing a lot of veterans into the Rebelle to help them even from healing with that transition point, coming out of active duty and into civilian life.
Yeah, and they've been also fortunate with Record the Journey to have sponsorship and support from Mitsubishi.
Mm-hmm.
We had a great interview with that team out at Dumont 2 days ago.
Yes, with the first rally dog, Sam.
Yeah,
right?
Sammy. Yeah. If you didn't know this, support dogs, when they have their vest on, often will say, "Don't pet me," service dog, "Don't pet me." But the dogs often have like off the vest time. And so when they're not wearing their vest, that's a signal that it may be okay to treat the dog more like you would a normal dog and be able to pet them and stuff. So when they're not working, you can play with them or offer to play with them, But when they've got their vest on, you just assume that dog's working.
Yeah, that was so cool to see it in the dunes. It was the first time all of us as a staff, we've been dying to pet this dog. And then the vest came off, they were playing fetch, and we were all just, Sam, Sam, Sam. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
It's really cool to be able to learn more about that.
Well, before we close, I do want to acknowledge the Bovee Ford Bronco there on the start line again. A 4030 69 Bronco crowd favorite is still chugging along and going to be headed down to Glamis today.
Oh, I love that Bronco. 1969 sister team. They have an incredible story. That was their dad's Bronco that they restored together. And they are back on the line. Even last year, this is their second year with that Bronco. They had a few issues, and Nick gets them back on that start line as fast as he can, and they just keep chugging along.
One of these days, all the stuff is going to be sorted, and it'll just be, assumed to be reliable.
Yes.
It's been really cool to be here at Pirate Cove. Thank you, Pirate Cove, for having us. We enjoyed some of your services yesterday. I hope to come back with a boat and some off-road vehicles and spend just several days here playing around. Did you know they have 3,000 miles of open OHV around here?
I didn't until you had that interview, and that just blew my mind.
Yeah, so
that is a lot of running around you can do, and
loads of entertainment.
Yes, it's been an incredible place to stay. It's been a great reset for staff and competitors, especially even this live show team, which is presented by Lexus. We thank them again for the cars, just being a presenting sponsor. We really appreciate that on the live show.
I'm looking forward to nerding out more about the new LX600 we saw a commercial about. I saw a lot of interesting features. That thing looks really cool.
I am so excited about that. I was having a hard time focusing on the live show and not reading all of the stats on that new Lexus.
Right,
so.
twin turbo V6. Yeah, that's a new thing for Lexus and Toyota. So let's talk about our socials to follow us. If you can spell Rebelle Rally, which you see right there on the screen, you can follow us, rebellerally.com/live. After you click live, there's an opportunity to click scoring, and that is a good page to have open while you have the YB Races tracking app open as well. You'll see there at Rebelle Rally on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We've been blowing up Instagram. I know at least my Instagram, I keep getting tagged and stuff. Lots of content there to check out. What about tonight?
Let's look at tonight. So we are transitioning to Glamis. That means the entire staff, competitors, everyone. So we will be live from Stage 6 finish line tonight, Thursday, October 14th, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific time. We can't wait to see you there. This is going to be a big day for these Rebelles. Again, 355 kilometers they are traveling. Checkpoints, mining roads, lots of detours, lots of pavement, with the surprise on course. With the surprise new precision enduro challenge in Glamis. So I want to hear
the car style en route precision enduro challenge. Lots of ways to describe the navigational methods they'll be using.
I can't wait to hear the stories from all those Rebelles that they hit the finish line. They're going to be, I know exactly what they're going to be saying. They're going to be talking all about that, and I can't wait to hear it.
I can't either. We might have a chance to bring you a bit more live here midday with me at a green checkpoint, and my goal there is just going to be able to knock out some interviews and see how some teams are doing here midday before I rush down to Glamis to rejoin Rochelle here.
Awesome. Thank you all so much for being with us this morning. We appreciate you, our audience, so much, all of our friends and family of the competitors here, all of our supporters and sponsors. Thank you very much. We will see you tonight, 6 o'clock at the finish line for Stage 6. I am one of your hosts, Rochelle Croft, here with Matthew Johnson. We will see you later tonight.
Thanks for joining us.
The sport of desert racing or off-road, you have to prepare for anything. The only way to know if something's going to withstand the abuse is to go out and test it and beat the crap out of it. Knowing that you're living life on the edge, pushing everything, you're literally racing on marbles. And the intensity, and then you throw in elements of dust and traffic and race cars around you, and it's an adrenaline rush. Anybody that says they do it for fun is lying. Racing's an addiction. I believe in pushing everything to the limits. I believe in testing everything that I have that's in my arsenal. You have to take advantage of opportunities when they're presented. You have to pick yourself up when you experience something that's a failure and not let it become an obstacle in your way. Just have to rise from it and move on. I think this business is a little bit of a journey. You know, there's a lot of things that you see around here, but the reality is it's funded by passion. I believe I have the best team and the support crew and staff behind me. So we recognize one another for the strengths that we possess, and then we try and harness that creativity or that energy, and everyone drives themselves to that next level by being able to lean on who's next to them to fill in the gap or do what they may not do as good as somebody else. To me, races are won or lost in the shop. You have a flawless day on the racetrack, and that's when everything goes perfect. However, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes in this building with prep and a maintenance schedule and our chosen list of equipment. There's no way that we would compromise for any associate sponsor or any supplier or any component. I have to believe in what I'm using, and I have to have trust in it. We've always associated ourselves and surrounded ourselves with people that are premium in their niche or their industry. I think it's extremely important for the customer to believe in the brand. You know, you have to prove the durability of your equipment at times, and when you go out and go racing, that gives us an opportunity to show people that the parts that we build for them off the shelf can also withstand race applications. And ultimately, our job is to make everything that we do better. My name's Nicole. I'm one of the owners for Total Chaos Fabrication. I'm also one of the drivers of the Total Chaos Team Tacoma.
So here's to you, the full-time adventurer, the amateur professional, the deliverer of the nation's goods. From the mountains to the beaches and the dunes, making a living. Wherever you go, whatever you do, you need a wiper blade that can keep up with your lifestyle. So, whether you're an off-roader, a tough mudder, a snow trekker, a trucker, a soccer mom, or just a dad wanting to spend time with your kids, you're gonna want to see where you're going. All right, my turn!
This place tells a story through the color and through these formations that are completely unexpected. I started racing almost 2 decades ago, and the color of the desert Southwest is like nowhere else I've seen. It's so unbelievable. It's unforgettable.